This unit houses the motor, and this unit probably houses the control circuit. So I can see that the control unit is connected to the spring-loaded buttons. There are grooves for the first three buttons. So when we press any one of the three buttons, it gets locked. And for the last button, there is no groove. So when we press it, the lock gets released and fan is switched off. I can also see that there is no electronic control unit, so it's probably resistor-based control system in which different switch will provide different resistance, and due to which the voltage difference across the motor will be different, and which will control the speed of the fan. Initially, when button is not pressed, the metal wings are not connected to the base metal, so circuit is open and electricity doesn't flow. But when we press button, the circuit is complete. The lock mechanism holds the metal wing to connected to the base metal, and the current flows, and the fan is on. So this is the motor unit, and that black cuboid is an AC capacitor. Since this is a single phase AC motor, we require a capacitor to give a push to the starting push to the motor so that it starts and rotating. After that, capacitor is of not any use, but to start the motor, it is important. And the white pack is the gearbox, which helps the head of the fan to swivel. So I've opened this gearbox, and you can see one green worm wheel there. Actually, there are multiple of them, and but we can see only one of them. So the main worm for the green wheel is the main axis of the motor, which rotates. And since the number of teeth on the gearbox is more, so the for even for high RPMs, the uh, swivel rate of the fan is very low. And when we pull this plastic shaft, the worm wheels get disconnected from the main axis of the motor, and so swivel stops. So this is what a motor looks from inside, and this rotating part of the unit is actually one of the ball bearings which holds the axis of the motor. So this is the copper coiling of the motor. They are coiled in clockwise and anti-clockwise manner, so that one of them becomes north pole, then the other is facing the south pole of the adjacent coil. And the square metal sheets which surrounds the coil are actually there for holding the magnetic field, so that can generate more power. The black fans are there to cool down the motor to force to some extent, and the blue drum is the motor drum, which itself has some copper coiling. So when the AC current passes through the main copper coiling, there it produces changing magnetic field, which in turn produces changing electric current inside the drum, which in turn produces changing magnetic field. So when the changing magnetic field of the drum and the changing magnetic field of the main copper coiling interact, the motor rotates. The drum and the main copper coiling are never in physical contact with each other. The drum, which has the main axis of the motor, are supported by the two ball bearings which are present on the motor casing. It is good practice to short circuit the plug after use, as we may get shock due to the charge stored in the capacitor.
One eternity later.